So, there's usually a whole set of questions people ask me, so I'll head them off at the bar with by answering a few of them for you. Andy, sit down. Andy, sit down. It might be your party, but it's my fucking show. Sit down. So everybody says, wants to know about my family situation. So I should say I'm happily married with 3 kids. That's one of each. In America, I have to explain that. I have to say, one boy, one girl, one who's going to take after daddy. One gay, one straight, one who's going to take after daddy. Tim's host just got up. Yep. And one bright and one super bright and one that's going to take after mummy. Might not be fair. So obviously my kids are all very happy with this. Apparently we're the coolest parents in school because all of the other parents are doctors, lawyers and dentists that are married to doctors, lawyers and dentists, and we're apparently left-wing and a little bit LGBT. That makes us cool. Everybody's worried about whether or not this is going to affect the kids, and I think I'm sending a nice clear message to my kids, and the clear message is, at some point you're going to bring somebody special home and say, I want this to be part of the family, and what this is supposed to say to them is I don't really care whether they're, a boy or a girl, or black or white, or colour pink, or French or German, well, maybe French. You can bring anyone you home, anyone, if you love them, I'm going to accept them and try and love them as much as I can, with one exception. And that one exception is if you bring a Tory voter home, we're going to fucking talk. And you all think I'm joking, but I'm not, I'm deadly serious. Right? Not all Tories, obviously some of you are alright. And the fucking golf club in the south, for God's sake. But there is a certain brand of Tory that's so deeply narcissistic they would sell their own grandmother if they could make a margin on it. And if they bring one of those home, we're going to have a conversation about whether or not this is appropriate or not. So my kids are all kind of pretty cool with it. My parents are pretty cool. My mum unfortunately died 5 or 6 weeks ago, and later on today I'm going to give you the eulogy I gave her because there were some great gags in it, and I was a bit disappointed that I told a few of them and nobody laughed until I told the Mae West gag, and then I got a laugh, and so I'll do that now quickly for you. I said my dad said I had to organise everything for the funeral, and so I had to organise the label on the casket. And I said, well, what should it say? And my dad's really tight. He said, keep it short. He said, just put, here lies Susie, finally silent. She didn't fucking laugh in church. Like, everybody looked at me like, whoa, and I said, well, I thought that was quite funny, because 2 weeks before she died, my mum said that now she was going to die, that I'd have to sort out my dad's funeral and I should sort out his casket. And I said, well, what should I put on that, Mum? And she said, well, keep it short, just put, here lies Brian, finally stiff. And they fucking laughed at that one. And so my dad is known as, he likes to call himself the world's most economical person, but what he means is he's a fucking miser. And when we were kids and it was cold, he would let us sit around a candle, but it would have to be really cold if we were going to light it. So he said to me, he did put the obituary in the Echo, and so I said, okay, so he said, but keep it short, because, they probably charge per word. He said, just put, Susie is dead. So I phoned up the local Echo, and I said, can I obituaries? And the lady said, well, look, it's £10 for the first 7 words, and then £1 for each word. I said, well, he just wants to put, Susie is dead. And the lady said, well, the other 4 words are free, so why don't you phone him up and see if he wants to make it a bit longer? So I phoned him up and said, you're going to pay for 7, it's going to cost you a tenner, maybe you should add a few words. So he thought about it for a bit and came back and said, yeah, okay, why don't you say, Susie is dead, Ford Escort for sale. And I swear, like, there were 150 people in the church and everybody laughed, and I'm like, you're laughing because you fucking know me down. That's exactly what it. And to be honest, I looked at my dad, and with that tears were streaming down his face. But they were happy tears. Like he wasn't kind of that sad. And he did tell me afterwards that he thought it was an old joke, but it was a good one. So there you go. So obviously I was delighted when Juliet phoned me up, almost a year ago now, and said, would you come and perform at Andy's funeral? No, sorry, Andy's 50th. I was delighted that. I instantly said yes, I would absolutely love to be here. But really, really pleased when, a couple of months ago, much nearer the date, she phoned me up and said, we booked you into a hotel for the Saturday night, would you like to come up on the Friday night and play around with me and Andy? I was like, I've been fucking faithful up till now. But yeah, whatever. I said, well, I haven't played around for quite a while, and she said, it's okay, she will invite some friends around. We know a few swingers, and I was like, okay. Well, I'm game for anything really. I said, well, where were we gonna play around? And she said, it's a place called Wags Barn. I was like, fucking hell, Wags, wives and girlfriends, Barn, fucking, it's a swingers club. I thought, okay, in for a penny, in for a pound. Then she said, I said, what do I wear? She said, we'll wrap up warm, it'll be cold outside. I was like, no. We're doing this outside. And then she said, yes. I said, well, what time of day? She said, well, we're going to tee off at 11 o'clock. I thought, I've got the wrong end of the fire iron, haven't I? But then I'm not so sure, because actually I thoroughly enjoyed, playing with all you swingers today. It was, but I'm not really sure about this whole golf thing. I mean, apparently, it feels a bit sexist, because, the boys are all allowed to dress as pimps, but apparently I'm not allowed to dress as a woman. Given every third shot went left, I think that was probably appropriate. There you go. At one point we did pass some old fellas that were kind of thrashing around in the woods, but Juliet assured me they were just looking for their balls. There we go. And I was slightly shocked when Andy on the 9th came over and told me that we should go around the back. I like the fact I've lost the kids on these, this is good. At one point Juliet shouted to me, she said I should take a mulligan, which is why I think he's not here.
He's not here.
I understand only 3 people know this guy Mulligan, so I knew there was a small audience for that joke. But it's okay. That's why Tim was walking funny. God, that was going to burn on you, like you'll get there. So I've got a couple of golf gags. I told this joke. I've been best man 3 times now, and the first time I was best man was at a very, very Catholic wedding, like a very, very Catholic, up in the northeast, and a friend of mine called Gareth. And Gareth's dad is a deacon in the Catholic Church. That means he wears a dog collar. He can do everything a priest can do. Except ordain another priest, and he's less likely to be a paedophile because he's married. I just had to get that in there, there you go. Anyway, so I've got David, his father, is sat on the top table with a dog collar. Next to him is the priest that married them. Next to him is the priest that confirmed Michaela, the bride, was her family priest. And because they're a big thing in the Catholic Church in the Northeast, the Bishop of the Northeast is there. I've got these 4 guys with dog collars, all sat on the top table. And so I told this gag. I said, I understand some of you golf, and so, it's a golfing check. I said, there's this guy, and he's playing at St Andrews. He's on the 4th, and he slices it into the woods, about halfway down the fairway. And so he's looking for his ball, and he can't, come and find it. And so puff a little green smoke, and a leprechaun appears. He says, I noticed the leprechaun. He says, you playing golf? He said, I am on the 4th at St Andrews, so yes. He said, have you lost your ball? He said, yeah. He said, it's over there, mate. It's just behind there. He said, thanks very much. He said, listen, would you like to play the ball from here, into the hole? The guy went, well, it's a par 5. I was like, of course I'd like to do that. He said, but that's not possible. He said, no, it is possible. He said, I've got this little pixie dust, and if I sprinkle this pixie dust on your hands, right? Every golf trick shot you try for the next 12 months will work. He said, okay, that sounds good. He said, well, what's the downside? He said, well, it's nothing really. It's just, it's like, if you're really good at golf, you're really bad at sex. It's just, that's the natural law. So this will make you really, really good at golf, but for a year you'll just be shit at sex, right? It'll decimate your sex life. But your golf will be great. The guy thinks about it for a minute and goes, okay, holds his hands out, they sprinkle pixie dust on, and he plays it with his driver, kind of hits a couple of trees, bounces down, just keeps going on and on and on, drops in the hole. Year goes by, he's back at St Andrews, hooks it into the woods. He hasn't done that in a year. He's looking for his ball, puff of green smoke, leprechaun appears, and says, do you remember me? He says, I think he called the pixie dust guy. Yeah, amazing. He says, how's the golf? He says, brilliant. I'm playing off scratch, and they made me captain. There's talk about me helping out with the pro. It's just been the best golf year of my life. Guy, the leprechaun says, great. He said, if it's not too rude, do you mind if I ask, how's your sex life? And the guy thinks about it for a minute and goes, it's been alright really, it's been quite a good year. The leprechaun goes, no, it's good at golf, bad at sex, that's universal law. He said, if it's not rude, how many times have you managed to get your leg over this year? And the guy goes, 4 times. The leprechaun laughs and goes, 4 times? He said, that's not good. The guy looks at the leprechaun and goes, for a Catholic priest with a small parish, it's not fucking bad. And I swear the bishop spat his red wine out. This was 20 years ago, and Michaela has never spoken to me since. Every cloud has a silver lining and all that. And afterwards, the bishop came up to me afterwards, he said, that was a very funny joke. Would you mind writing it down for me? I'd love to be in the service when he decides to tell that one. There you go. So, I looked up on the internet for golfing jokes. I only found one, and I'm sure you've all heard it, but it's probably worth doing because I did think it was very funny. 2 guys are on the 4th, and just as he's about to address the ball, he sees a hearse go past. And so he takes his hat off and he steps back and waits till the hearse has gone, and then when it's finished he puts his hat back on and addresses the ball, and the guy goes, excuse me, that's the most respectful thing I've ever seen. Right, I just, hats off to you, that's just beautiful. And the guy looks up from his shot and goes, well, I was married to her for 30 years. I thought that was quite a good one. I might tell that one again sometime. There you go. So, excuse me a second, because I was going to tell you another gag, but my memory has gone since I've been doing this. Oh yeah, you like this one? I'm going to tell you a story first. I don't play golf very often. Like this is the first round of golf I've had in 4 years. But I used to live in Asia where they play all the time, except it's very different. And so I had this. I was playing in Malaysia, and we have these. You have the buggies. It's too hot to fucking walk, and then but your caddies run. So you play your shot, and as soon as you play your shot, off the caddies go, and they run down there, and they find the ball for you, and you stand by it, and you drive your buggy up, drinking your beer, because that's the way it works. It's a great game. And I've got this little caddy called AJ, and he's kind of just gone. He's tiny, right? He's 58, but he looks 14. It's not got an ounce of fat on him because he spends all day, every day running in the heat. And he's great. He selects the club for me and kind of comes up and tells me my line's not wrong. It's just brilliant. Best golf I've ever played. Except I've managed to lose a ball again and dropped one in the lake. And then I get up and he stood by the lake and he could see my ball. It's like 4 feet in, 3 feet down, crystal clear water. And I sort of jokingly went, oh, why haven't you got it out? And he went, oh, okay. And so he took his t-shirt off and waded in. And as he waded in, I felt the water's coming up and he's kind of moving his feet forward. And I'm like, it's just a foot in front of you, just duck down. And so he keeps going forward, the water's coming up, and he gets up to here. And the water's all the way up to his nose there, and it's like this. And he can't now see the ball. And he said, I can't see the ball, where is it? And I'm like, it's 2 inches in front of your foot. Just duck down and pick it up. And he goes, I can't do that, sir. I said, why not? Because I can't swim. So what are you doing in the fucking lake then? Trying to earn a tip. Anyway, there you go. True story. Funny as shit, but there you go. That's golfing in Asia. It's very different than golfing here. But there you go. So as a fella dying, he's on his deathbed, kind of in his 90s, right? He knows he's going. His wife Mary's next to him, and he says to Mary, he says, I'm glad to check out, love. And she looks at him and goes, oh, yeah. Yeah, very well. She says, he says, is there anything you want to ask me before I go? And she goes, no, had a great life, 60 years married, love you, no questions. Mind you, I would like to know, what's in that locked drawer in your desk? And he looks at her and he says, oh, I think you have a right to know. And he reaches down and he pulls out a key around his neck and he gives a key. He says, come and have a look. So she goes and he opens the drawer, brings back, and there's 6 golf balls and £1,000. He comes back, he says, well, he seems fine, but he doesn't play golf. He comes back and goes, oh, why have you got golf balls? And he looks at her and he says, well, you know, on the odd occasion I was unfaithful, on the way home, I would force myself to go to the golf club at the end of the road, into that lake, and dive down until I found a lake ball, and those are lake balls. And she looks at the 6 balls and goes, oh, 6 little infidelities in the 60 years of marriage, 1 a decade. And she thinks back to when they were first married, and she'd had a little kind of fling with a tennis coach, and then, you know, a decade or so later, she'd had a little fling with the gardener. And he doesn't know, but, you know, she's sort of having a little thing with somebody who can actually get out of bed at the moment. So she looks at him and says, oh, you know, 6, 3 of mine. She says, George, I forgive you. I love you. Like 60 years of marriage, why would I let a little thing like that get in the way? I love you. Yeah, I forgive you. George looks at Mary and says, thank you, dear. She says, what's £1,000 for? He says, well, you can sell lake balls for 50p for 100. She'll like that one. There you go. There's enough golfing jokes. So I'll leave you one other golfing joke, and then the band. Are you guys ready to do your big set? So my doctor. So I'm married to a GP, right? Because what that means is I'm very brave. When she's, are there any GPs in the room? I like to remind people in America that they think they have the biggest serial killer with Bundy, who did 40, but we haven't. Right? Shipman killed 136 people before we even knew he was killing people. Well, that, if you're the wife or a husband of a GP, it makes you fucking careful. And she knows 136 ways of killing me, and they're all untraceable. So I'm very brave when she's not here. My doctor told me that, you know, I need to lose a bit of weight and I should take up golf. And I said, well, you know. He said you should do 9 holes twice a week, and, you know, your weight will come off, you'll be fit, you'll be great. And I saw him about a month later and he said, how did it go? I said, well, it kind of lasted maybe 2 weeks. I kind of played like 4 or 5 times, but honestly, you know, I couldn't get beyond 3 holes. He said, why not? I said, it's just that fucking window. Alright, I thought that was a bit crazy. Back to the G&T thing. So I told you that you know, 1 G&T, they don't talk to me, and 4, you know, they proposition me. It's a fine balance really, isn't it? Because, you know, at 4 gin and tonics, you know, most men are kind of anybody's. Puts me in, you know, gives me a head start. 5 gin and tonics though, and they're everybody's. 6 gin and tonics and they're nobody's. And so my worst chat-up line is I was outside Madame Jojo's, the same place with the big black guy, and I got followed into the ladies' room by this guy who exposed himself and said, suck this. I thought, well, that's 6 gin and tonics there, isn't it? And I looked at him and went, fucking hell, Dad. Does Mum know you're here? And then I realised he was wearing one of her dresses, and she probably did. I'm going to come back after they've performed in a third outfit. Do you like this one, ladies? Woo! So I'm going to go and get changed for my third outfit, and then we're going to do the dirty jokes. But there you go. But I'll leave you with one thought. It takes balls to do this.